Chelsea lose 1-0 to Juventus. Mudryk plays first match in 615 days. Quenda impresses on debut. Mykhailo Mudryk made his first appearance for Chelsea in 615 days as Xabi Alonso's side were beaten 1-0 by Juventus in a pre-season friendly in Hong Kong. Geovany Quenda was impressive on his debut for Chelsea, while there were also first appearances for Danny Welbeck, Penders and Marco Palestra. Advertisement Edon Zhegrova scored the game's only goal for Juventus, whipping a strong finish beyond Penders, the goalkeeper who replaced Robert Sanchez at halftime. Chelsea's next fixture is against Milan at the Gelora Bung Karno Stadium in Jakarta, Indonesia, on Saturday, 1 p.m. GMT.
Then I found Lulu Talks tea and everything shifted. Once I started drinking it, my mornings were ruined in the sense that they'd never be the same again. I began waking up feeling rested and energized, something I hadn't experienced in years. My new routine? Just 1 cup of Lulu Talks in the morning. On top of that, my menopause symptoms have eased significantly. I finally feel like myself again, strong, confident, and like a woman who's ready to take on the day.
Curious what makes it different? Scan the QR code now or visit grabdeal.us/8.
Simon Johnson analyzes the talking points from Chelsea's defeat at the Jakarta Stadium. What did Chelsea fans learn about Quenda? Chelsea fans have had a long wait to see Quenda in action for the first time, but it was worth the wait on this evidence. Quenda agreed to join Chelsea from Sporting CP for £40 million in March last year, but the agreement involved the winger staying at the Portuguese club until this summer. A minor injury picked up in a behind-closed-doors friendly against Bromley Town 2 weeks ago meant he did not join the club's pre-season tour until Monday. That meant missing the first 2 competitive friendlies in Australia against Western Sydney Wanderers and Tottenham. You would have never known that he arrived in Hong Kong just 2 days earlier, though. The 19-year-old was Chelsea's most dangerous player in the first half, causing Juventus a lot of problems on the right flank. Quenda enjoyed dribbling with intent, cutting off and on to his favored left foot. One superb cross should have ended in a goal, but fellow debutant Danny Welbeck headed wide. The Portugal under-21 international certainly won over the Chelsea fans inside Jakarta Stadium. They reserved their loudest cheers for when he got the ball. It is important he got off to an encouraging start because if he wants to play regularly on the right wing, he faces stiff competition from Estevão Willian. If Quenda got great backing in the opening 45 minutes, Estevão generated perhaps the same, if not higher decibels. One beautiful bit of control, dribble and lovely pass into Palestra's path just past the hour mark was a sublime bit of play. Advertisement How did Jackson do in the shop window? It is very likely Nicolas Jackson will be sold before the transfer deadline expires on September 1, but he still had something to prove in Hong Kong. He replaced Welbeck after the interval, which meant he was making his first appearance for Chelsea in 13 months, having faced Fluminense at the FIFA Club World Cup. The Senegal international spent last season on loan at Bayern Munich. There was a conditional obligation in place to make the switch permanent, but he did not play enough games for the Bundesliga side to trigger it. As revealed by The Athletic in the transfer deal sheet, Chelsea have put an asking price of £65 on his head. There is a lot of interest, with Aston Villa, one of the sides, expressing an interest. This was an opportunity to see whether Chelsea have a chance to get such a high figure, even if it was his first outing following a holiday after the World Cup. In many ways, everyone got to see the best and worst of Jackson. He looked rapid, and one fine run set up a chance for Palestra to score. Unfortunately, the right-back scuffed his effort. Juventus defenders had trouble at times with his movement. The playing surface did not help, but there was a great chance of a counter-attack soon afterwards. He had players to set clear to his left and right. However, Jackson dwelled in possession too long, and Douglas Luiz had an opportunity to stop the attack with a tactical foul. He was happy to take the inevitable booking, yet the Brazilian should not have been given the opportunity. An optimistic backheel for Estevão to run on to went straight to a Juventus shirt, much to the bemusement of the crowd. Jackson looked very unimpressed when substituted for Mykhailo Mudryk 37 minutes after coming on. Advertisement Chelsea will hope his record of 30 goals and 12 assists in 81 appearances for them is going to tempt someone to make an offer. It is going to be difficult for him to get regular first-team football at Chelsea now with others ahead of him in the pecking order. How did Mudryk look after such a long absence? What an incredible few days for Mudryk. On Friday, the news broke that he could resume playing again after a resolution was reached between the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, and the Football Association, FA, over an anti-doping violation. The Ukraine international, who last played for Chelsea 21 months ago, flew out to join the squad on Monday. He has not been able to train with them since the case was opened. Mudryk joined in open training on Tuesday, and with 8 minutes to go of the Juventus defeat, he got to come on the pitch. The roars from the 43,375 in attendance must have been like music to his ears. Every time the ball went near him, they urged him on too. It speaks volumes for the individual training he has been doing that he could be on the pitch so soon in the first place, let alone look pretty sharp. This is just the beginning of his comeback, and clubs are already making inquiries regarding a loan move. Chelsea have yet to decide what they will do, making Mudryk's reintegration back into normality their priority. But this is a week that Mudryk will not forget in a hurry, and certainly will taste a lot sweeter than many he has experienced over nearly 2 years.